Life in a world that keeps changing. Think that it's progress you're making. Copy and paste pretty faces all the time. Pictures so perfect.
Hey beautiful people, welcome and welcome back again to my channel. I greet all of you according to una time. Yes, I remain your friend, your sister, your girl, anointed lady. Yes, my correct people. Mazi, Nnamdi, Kanu, the great leader, don't finally come reply the news wey lie Mohammed do, which is on the 17th of April 2021. Make una just lis ten. He say IPOB na be threat to Nigeria. If they don't tire, maybe dem go free Biafra. Make e no be say na my mouth. Una go for hear everything. Make I drop the video sharply. Make una lis ten. Meanwhile, if today na the first time we say you dey come across Anointed Lady TV channel, you are highly welcome. Thank you very much for stopping by. And to all my returning subscribers, I appreciate all of una as una take dey support this platform. They come. Thank you. Now God go bless you now. And if you never subscribe, I beg kindly hit on that subscribe button. Put on the notification bell so that you will continue to get update for this channel. Because for this channel, now daily news, now I did drop. And if you like the video, make it not fail to give the video huge thumb up. Leave your opinion for the comment section. What you think about what Mazi, Nnamdi, Kanu talk.
Your fellow black people and get them to do the subjugation and oppression for them, which the Fulani Janjaweed and to an extent your governors are now doing right across the zoo, not just in the east, but everywhere across the zoo, because they see themselves as being privileged enough to lord it over other people who are less fortunate. This evening, I'm going to start by laying, of course, as we always do, a very firm foundation upon which our discourse this evening shall rest, for you to try to understand the efforts that people are putting into trying to stop IPOB. I want IPOB family members all over the world to understand the pride of place they occupy in the minds of those that yearn for freedom. I want IPOB family members to understand that you are the nightmare that the zoo is afraid of. And I'll prove it to you now. Only I forget about all these other chaffs and idiots. It's only IPOB that the zoo is afraid of once it comes to Biafra Restoration Project. And I'm going to prove it to you now. I'm going to start by trying to analyze the news that hit the airwaves, or should I say, that was published earlier today by the news agency of Nigeria. Of course, it was syndicated, which means that every news outlet in the zoo is encouraged to carry it. It is from the Minister of Information of the Zoological Republic called Nigeria, that contraption created by a white man, not black people, that racist construct. United Africa Company, from there went to Royal Niger Company. A limited enterprise designed by the British to serve their interests. But unfortunately and very sadly, we black people have refused to learn and to listen. But this evening I shall remind all of us of our duty and responsibility to one another to try to shed the yoke of neocolonialism wherever we find it. This headline reads, "Don't listen to secessionists lie Mohammed tells Nigerians." You must pay particular attention to this. Despite all the raging insecurity in the land, despite the dastardly exploits of ISIS in West Africa, despite the murderous should I say, tendencies of Boko Haram and every other Fulani terrorist group, because some of you should not forget that every terror group in Nigeria is owned and financed by the Fulani. That is something you must understand. Rather unfortunately, and should I say, rather very pathetically, some of you are yet to come to terms with this very reality. To top up the misery for the masses, they control the army, they control the police, they control the customs, they control every arms-bearing agency in the land. Every secretariat agency is in their pocket. And on top of that, you also have the presidency of the zoo that they are now, should I say, have complete and total control over. In other words, you people are living in the era of the Fulani rule. You are living in the era of the caliphate without knowing it. Because you don't have elections in the zoo. You don't have any democracy in the zoo called Nigeria. What you have is the rule, a very primitive rule of the Janjaweed. And to make things worse, there is nobody who is actually in charge. And also, I'm going to prove that to you later on, that we are the ones, we are their tormentors, we are the ones that they are most afraid of. No other person. Anything we say on this platform, the zoo, they listen very attentively, they pay very close attention to it, and they do the best they can, either to mitigate it or to try to rubbish what we're doing. And each time they fail, each time they try to make us look bad, they end up looking very, very ridiculous. I'm going to prove it to you this evening. This news broke this evening was carried by many newspapers around the zoo. If you Google it, you'll be able to see it there. Don't listen to secessionists. Lai Mohammed tells Nigerians. He said, do not listen to people who are agitating for freedom. Now, let us proceed. He said this very day, today being Sunday, that the federal government was working hard to improve national security and prevent all secession tendencies, which means what we told you earlier today about the abductions that they're doing, which happened this evening in Upto, as a matter of fact. The abductions that they're doing, their concern is not the should I say, the Fulani Janjaweed they imported from the Sahel. No, that is not their concern. Their concern is also not the Fulani bandits who are raping, pillaging, and killing people all over the place. That too is not a concern to them. What concerns them is secession. If you are somebody raised on this warped sense of nationalism, if you're one of these people unfortunate enough not to reason properly or reason anything through before you embark on either critique or embracing of that very subject or discourse, if you're one of those who are not well educated, you will think that fighting for nationalism in Nigeria, or should I say, preserving Nigeria is a very good thing. But actually, it means you are badly educated, you are ill-informed, and you are highly unreasonable. Why am I saying this? Because Lai Mohammed is telling you that their problem are groups that are involved in trying to divide Nigeria. But I want to remind each and every one of you that this same lame, weak argument was espoused by supporters of the British Empire during our colonial days, the time that the zoo was under colonialism. And having said this thing today, as I'm speaking to you right now, there is a man called Bishop Etete. He's been abducted from Akwa Ibom this very day. Chinedu Ekwonu was also abducted in Akwa Ibom as well. That one was abducted on the 6th of April. Nsikak Abase also abducted by the DSS. The reason why I'm making this announcement this evening is that anytime people get upset, these people, they have relatives. Anytime we keep crying and lamenting, and God decides to send his angels, the unknown government, to go and avenge this level of humiliation, some of you begin to complain and to mutter to yourselves. When Nigerian government themselves are committing high crimes and misdemeanors, all of you keep quiet. How can you go to people's home and you abduct them and take them to Iguacha? Their telephone, their mobile phones were tracked. Where we lost contact was on entry into Iguacha. They switched off all their phones. That's what they have done. They are now in Iguacha, maybe in DSS or whatever headquarters that the Fulanis have planned for us. And in all these places, you have the Fulanis who are in power. These people are fighting for freedom. The same way that Nnamdi fought for freedom, should I say, to an extent, independence, for the same people today who are hell-bent on killing everybody, fighting for the same thing that they fought for under British rule. Britain argued, or should I say those that believed in the empire argued that if you allow all these countries, if you allow India to become independent, the jewel and the crown they used to call India, if you allow South Africa to go to the Boers, if you allow all these countries in Africa to become independent, that will weaken the British Empire. We are one. We speak English. English language binds us together. The same stupid, spurious arguments being made up by the likes of Lai Mohammed till this very day. Why did the likes of Azikiwe fight for independence? Why did the likes of Awolowo fight for independence? How come, I'm asking, how come the likes of, to an extent, very limited extent, Enahoro fight for independence? Why? Okotiebo, why did they fight for independence? Why didn't they all argue that we should remain in one big British empire, one big family being ruled by the Queen? Even when they got independence in 1960, how come in 1963 they argued that the zoo should become a republic? That the Queen should no longer be the head of government of Nigeria? Why did you do that? Why is it that now that people are agitating for exactly the same things that you fought for and agitated for under colonialism, you have issues with it? Let us look at what Mohammed has to say. They are working very hard to improve national security by abducting people today in Uguta. They abducted some people today in Uguta as well, not just in Akwa Ibom. In Uguta today, they went and they abducted some people there. The man ran away, they took the wife. A woman. This is what Fulani people are doing. Any day now, people become angry and enraged and they react. All of you will come on social media and on your useless newspapers and be yapping rubbish. Today that the DSS are busy abducting people, you will not say anything. And I want to ask you this question. How many Fulani bandits has the DSS abducted before in the past? Shekumi knows where they are. How many of them have been abducted? The answer is zero. Absolute zero. Nothing. He gave this, he was speaking on a radio program, I think it was in Lagos, it's called EB, Abasade. He urged Nigerians not to listen to IPOB, not to listen to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That's what he's doing. He said, speaking specifically on the issues around security, Mohammed said that federal government's effort in that respect necessitated the town hall meeting on security held on April 8 in Kaduna. The people causing the problem are the same people that they went to have a town hall meeting in the same state, being governed or being ruled by a man, that midget El Rufai, that openly told all of you that he was traveling to Chad, to Niger, to Mali to go and pay Fulani terrorists and bandits to stop killing all of you. He was the man, when asked what was happening in southern Kaduna, he said that the Fulanis were exacting revenge. A governor, that was where they held this town hall meeting. I want to let the whole world understand that Nigeria itself is steeped in hypocrisy. There is something, every time I come on air, I keep lamenting about the state or the mental well-being of black people, how we absorb information and how we analyze it. I keep saying this all the time. I don't know if some of you actually sit down to give a deeper reflection on this very issue I harp on about all the time. They held a town hall meeting, not in the south that hasn't been ravaged that much by terrorism, but in Kaduna. The same Kaduna that was the epicenter, the beginning of present-day Fulani banditry started in Kaduna, in southern Kaduna. That's where they held this very meeting. That is to tell you that they have taken over your lives. You people are worthless. And I'm saying this with every sense of clarity and sincerity that people in the southern part of Nigeria, you people are slaves, but the funniest thing is that you don't know that you are slaves. You see, in order to occupy you, in order to make you feel relevant, they keep saying, the presidency will go to the south in 2023, which means forget about every other thing that is happening to you right now. Focus, it's just like promising somebody you're going to heaven. If you go to church and pay that, you go to heaven. As if they've had anybody from heaven come back to tell them that, hey, I went to heaven, this is what it looks like. They keep promising you 2023. As you're looking at 2023, your land, your forests, your farmlands are being taken over. They are concentrating power upon despite the fact that the Fulanis are in control of every facet of life in the zoo, they're even piling on more power upon the one that they have already. And all you can do is to talk about one Nigeria. The meeting brought stakeholders together to chart a way forward. Let me ask you, were you aware of any meeting being held in Kaduna or that was held in Kaduna on the 8th of April? Stakeholders is basically Fulani people, maybe from Chad, from Niger, from Timbuktu, with the Sultan in charge. They said that they're setting benchmarks for enhanced security and national unity in Nigeria. Unity by force. Unity, the same way that Britain tried to hold their empire by force, crush, imprison, kill, jail. It didn't work. It has never worked anywhere in history. And Nigeria is not going to be an exception. It will never, ever work. They said that their deliberations, or should I say, their conclusions, were presented to the Federal Executive Council and state governors on Wednesday and Thursday of this week gone, respectively. Lai Mohammed pointed out that what united Nigeria was more important than those issues threatening its continuity. And I want to ask anybody with any sense of, I don't know how to put this so that people can actually understand me. I want people to ask themselves this question. What are those things that unites Nigeria? And now some idiot will tell me that an Igbo man trading in Sokoto, in Guzo, in Kotangora is what unites you. The same way you have Igbo people running successful businesses right across the whole of Europe and in the Americas. The most successful immigrant race into the United States of America are Biafran people. I think it's an official document, isn't it? The most successful immigrant race into the USA are essentially Biafran people. Are they not doing very well in the USA? They are excelling in the USA. Is anybody in their right senses ever suggesting that we should be one country with the USA because our people are doing very well? I want to be very generous to the likes of Lai Mohammed and all those misguided nationalists that you have in the zoo called Nigeria. It's a very simple question. If you claim that somebody doing business successfully in Maiduguri or in Bauchi is a panacea, is the reason why we should be together as one country. There are people who are doing very well in the UK as we speak, running successful businesses. It doesn't matter if they are Biafrans, there are Yoruba people doing exceptionally well. These are multimillionaires in pound sterling. Are you now implying that Britain should come back to recolonize us? Because there are people who are doing very well in Britain. Simple common sense. I'm sure that you know that the answer is no. So I want Lai Mohammed and all those peddling this fictitious line that what holds us together is more than what divides us. What is holding us together now is Fulani laziness and Fulani greed. Their lecherous behavior, blood-sucking demonic behavior. They contribute nothing to the national coffers. I keep asking myself all the time, if you sit down and you ask yourself, what is it that the Fulani Janjaweed, especially their so-called elite, are contributing towards the national development of the place called Zoological Republic of Nigeria? The answer is absolutely nothing. All they do is that they steal. The ordinary Alamajiri Janjaweed may move cattle from place to place. At least they provide meat to an extent to those that want to eat their useless poisoned meat. What does a ordinary Fulani Janjaweed so-called elite, all of them that are stealing money and sharing it in Abuja, in Kaduna, in Sokoto and all that, just tell me what they have contributed? I keep asking this question, nobody can answer it. Absolutely nothing. But Lai Mohammed is saying that what binds us together is more than what divides us. And he went on to say, listen, we are moved by security issues around the country and called for a meeting of all relevant stakeholders on April the 8th in Kaduna. That we have ethnicity issues is not new. I'm quoting verbatim what Lai Mohammed said. That we have ethnicity issues is not new. They started to mention the problems of Nigeria. Number one is the beloved IPOB. Second, Boko Haram. And thirdly, farmer-header clashes, not Fulani bandits. The reason why this animal called Lai Mohammed mentioned Boko Haram is because over the years they tried to coerce Boko Haram to deliver their own agenda, their own jihadist, Wahhabi Janjaweed agenda, and Shekau said no. That's why they're including them here. And the last, but not this, is farmer-header clashes. You know that it is the Fulanis, they claim the same people that told us that those in our forest killing us in Benue, in Agatu, those in southern Kaduna slaughtering us in Zango Kadaf. They said, they opened their mouth, go and Google it, they said, these are foreigners, foreign headsmen. That was what they said. But today, the Fulani rampaging, kidnapping, killing, raping, murdering people, known as Fulani bandits, they are not included in the list of Lai Mohammed. The number one people to appear there is your beloved IPOB, followed by Boko Haram. No other people. No, that is why I said to our people, anybody against ESN, you must be sick in the brain. If those people who are clamoring that they want to also provide 5,000 men, if they are serious, if they are a thorn on the flesh of the soup, they would have been mentioned. Only IPOB. They talk about secession. They talk about IPOB. It's here. These are the words of Lai Mohammed. That we have ethnicity issues is not new. IPOB, Boko Haram, and farmer-header clashes are not new. All we must do is to look for a way forward. What is that way forward? By Fulanizing everybody. By Fulanizing everybody. These are the things that some of you must understand. And what they intend to do, as they have done in the past few hours, is to unleash their so-called DSS that can never catch Boko Haram. DSS can never catch ISIS in West Africa province, which is ISWAP. But DSS can never ever catch Fulani bandits. The only people they catch, you'll be in your house sleeping at night. They will storm your place with their darkened hillocks and they're doing cowboy, abducting innocent people who are not armed. You must understand this very carefully, what they are doing. That is Nigeria for you. And they claim that they're doing their job. Because we are the people threatening the complete Fulani takeover of the whole of Nigeria. Only IPOB. I'm sorry to say. That is why we are being mentioned. You know what Lai Mohammed said? He said, we are aware of them, which means the aware of IPOB. The government is working. Secession is not the way out of our challenges. You don't cure a headache by beheading the patient. The things that unite us in Nigeria are more than what separates us, he said. The minister said that the stakeholders at the town hall meeting in Kaduna came up with some recommendations to further secure and unite the country towards glory. They always unite, unity. Nobody talks about your well-being. Nobody is concerned that Yoruba people are refugees in Benin Republic. Nobody is concerned about what DSS is doing. Nobody is concerned about what goes on at army checkpoints now in Biafra land where people are being slaughtered. Nobody is concerned that the whole of Bende, right now as I speak, is full of Fulani jihadis with their cattle. Your well-being. Let us not even talk about employment or good roads or good schools or hospitals. That one can never come. We are talking about your own survival as a human being. And do you know why Lai Mohammed was chosen to say all of these things? Now listen to why he's doing it. Lai Mohammed is a Yoruba man, apparently, from Kwara State. But he is a Fulanized Yoruba man. He's a Muslim. He's a Mastinubu. Because when they pray, those of them who are learned, they pray in Arabic. When they read their Quran is written in Arabic. You cannot read the Quran in English. It has to be in Arabic. Pay very close attention to what I have to say. In other words, the Fulanization agenda of the Caliphate is nothing new to him. Because that Fulanization agenda means the recitation of Quran in Arabic for everybody. It means looking towards Saudi Arabia for all that you are as a human being. These are the things you must bear in mind. So to Lai Mohammed and other Kwara Yoruba, should I call them Muslims, it's nothing new. For all they care, the supreme leader of all Muslims in Nigeria is the Sultan of Sokoto. It can never be a Yoruba man. Understand this very carefully. The Sultan of Sokoto, the leader of Muslims in Nigeria forever and ever, as long as the zoo stays together as one entity, which it cannot stay, of course. We'll make sure of that. It's going to always be the Sultan of Sokoto. There is no way in this life that the Sultan of Sokoto can ever be a Yoruba man. In other words, every Yoruba person, including Mohammed, including Tinubu, every Yoruba person, especially a Muslim that subscribes to one Nigeria, they are saying that in perpetuity, the Fulani will lord it over us. Some people may try to draw the analogy with Christianity and say, how about the Pope? There's never been an African Pope, but of course, at least it is subject to a vote. One day, who knows, a black Pope may emerge. It has nothing to do with us. The same thing that I have against some of them of the English persuasion when it comes to Christian worship, Anglican Church. There is no way in this life the Archbishop of Canterbury, appointed by the Queen of England, can ever be a black person. It's not possible. It's not possible. It can never be done. The same way there is no way in this world that the Sultan of Sokoto, the supreme leader of Muslims in Nigeria, will ever be a Yoruba man. So every Yoruba person canvassing or campaigning for one Nigeria, you are saying that you have double yoke. Obasanjo emerged, the Yoruba man, as the head of state of Nigeria because the Fulani said so. He came back again and became civilian head of state because the Fulani said so. Shunekon emerged because the Fulani said so. When Yorubas wanted their own person to be the president, Fulani said no. Abiola, and he was not the president. What people are doing inadvertently, what people are doing with them is that I don't know, they bring this burden upon themselves without understanding the idiocy of supporting one Nigeria. The reason why I touched upon this is because the only thing, Nigeria is a totalitarian state. They give you the misleading and erroneous impression that somehow we're all together in a democracy. Nigeria is a totalitarian state. It's not a democracy. Why am I saying this? Now, there is insurgency all across the north. Restiveness in the south, so to speak. People agitating for their freedom. Let me tell you the recommendation that they come up with in Kaduna. The stakeholders recommended that security operatives be equipped with modern equipment to boost efficiency necessary to win the trust and confidence of the people. Who are the people running your security agencies, Fulani? Who are the people causing the problem of insecurity in Nigeria, Fulani? And I stand this night and I ask everybody who is in that zoo, every animal in the zoo called in Nigeria, I want to ask a simple question. Just name somebody, one person that reported the activities of Fulani killers and headsmen to any police or divisional police of headquarters manned by a Fulani person, and something was done about it. 4 times now, the Fulani headsmen have attacked Enugu. 9 times they've attacked Ebonyi. At no point during these attacks did the